Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our second episode in our second season of Progressively Yours Health and Wellness Podcast. And we have an exciting lineup for you today. But before we get into, and I should say this is our second season. However, the first season went from 2022 to 2025. So first season was a long season, but now we're starting all over again, and we're real excited. Second show. And Bernard, what do you have for us? Are you going to introduce yourself?
You just did.
Okay.
Thank
Bernard,
you.
I'm Imani.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy to be with you all, and take it away.
Thank you so very much, my dear. It is part of our ritual and tradition to begin with a brief meditative moment. It's not a religious meditative moment, but for us it is indeed a spiritual one to set the tone and the energy for our time together with you. So if you would like to participate, I'd like to invite you to find yourself comfortable. If you happen to be seated in your chair or if you're moving around, just pause for this next 2 minutes, and I invite you just to close your eyes and take in 3 breaths and allow the vibrations that you will hear from the tingshaws to reverberate through your body. And then I have a reading from an ancestor, a great mystic theologian, the mentor for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, in the person of Howard Washington Thurman. So if you close your eyes, get comfortable, take in 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose slowly, and relax your shoulders as we begin. We pay homage to our ancestors, and we offer gratitude because as they were, we are, and because we are, they were. And therefore, as we recognize that they grant us permission to engage in this meaningful conversation today surrounding the theme of peace, these words appropriately from Howard Washington Thurman, from his book, Meditations of the Heart, Meditations of the Heart, entitled, Life is Alive. Life is alive. The awareness that the universe is dynamic gives to the individual the quiet assurance that wherever he or she may be located, he or she is intimate candidacy for the strength that comes from a boundless vitality. This fact makes for a universal kinship among all living things. The blessing of self-consciousness makes possible a deliberate relatedness out of which arise all of the joyous overtones of human relations. To understand another human being, even dimly, is to bring to a point of focus an infinite resource. The psalmist states it by insisting that, quote, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof." Life is alive, and let us be alive in it as we discover more and more what makes you come alive at this time in your life. Ashe.
Ashe.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. That always puts me in the right mood to host these shows. You know, one of the common ways people refer to life is alive is life be lifing. I've heard that from so many people. Like, what does that mean? Life be lifing. But it does boil down to us being connected and being conscious of what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're treating people. So just a real brief announcement, because I don't want to take up time from our panel. We have a wonderful panel that you're going to meet in a second. But I just wanted to remind people, we dedicated the whole last show to my new book, which is now available, Educating the Incarcerated, Facilitating Opportunities for Growth and Understanding. It is now available on Amazon, and it's available as a paperback. And I think tomorrow it'll be available as an ebook. So please check that out. I met some wonderful, wonderful people when I worked at the local county sheriff's office, from the inmates to all the way up to the sheriff, who was so supportive of this program that the book talks about and provides lessons and a lot of information, poetry and prose from the inmates, and actually from some of the detention officers. So it's really rich. It's a teaching tool for teachers, parents, people who work with the incarcerated, really all ages. So definitely check it out. We're doing a book signing here in Stone Mountain next Saturday, 12:30 to 4. And if you'd like information about that, we will be sending an email. But you can, the best way, do we have the Sankofa email? There is, let me see. You can call 404-482-2470 to get more information about the book and about the open house, where you'll also get to experience our energy room. That's really nice. So with that, we are going to move straight forward into our wonderful panel. And today's panel is about the issue, as Bernard mentioned, of peace. And we've got an amazing group of people who have dedicated their lives to the issue of peace from different angles. And the person that I want to bring up first is one who I met many years ago with the Global Humanitarian Summit. She was the chair. She worked with Neil Schumann, Dr. Neil Schumann, who created the Global Humanitarian Summit back, I think she'll tell you the year. But he is an artist, a physician, a playwright, an amazing, amazing person. And he's an ancestor now, and we all miss him dearly. But he lived here in Atlanta also, so we had a chance to interact with him. But I'm going to bring on Debbie. Let me tell you a little bit about Debbie Ellison. She had a longing and a calling, even in childhood, to make a difference in the world through her humanitarian work and her writing. She is spreading peace in the world and inspiring people to be humanitarians and peacemakers. She is a freelance writer and an editor and has written for national magazines and many other publications. I mentioned the Global Humanitarian Summit. I'm going to let her speak about that. She is on the advisory board of the A.D. King Foundation, founded by Mrs. Naomi King, who was Dr. King's sister-in-law. And she is on the board of directors of the Atlanta City of Peace. She is a member of the NAACP and Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Debbie is a certified laughter yoga teacher and director of Laughter for Wellness. She leads laughter sessions, leading leaders training and play shops on laughter, stress management, joyfulness, creativity, and creative writing. And she is such a joy and a delight. And let's bring up Debbie so that we can speak with you. Hey,
hi everybody.
Debbie, greetings and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're delighted that you're here and looking forward to your conversation with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Debbie, tell us a little bit about the history of the brief history of the Global Humanitarian Summit, and a little bit about Neil, because such an amazing person. I didn't want to just gloss over who he was. So tell us about him and the whole the start of the summit years ago.
Well, the Global Humanitarian Summit is a gathering of humanitarians from all over the world. I mean, some of the most amazing people on the planet. People that are doing work in all areas of humanitarian work. And it was started, as Imani said, it was started by Dr. Neil Schulman, who was a professor at Emory University and a great humanitarian. Dr. Schulman was always there and ready to help anyone who needed help. And yeah, the Global Humanitarian Summit took place at Emory University for 5 or 6 years. And then in 2016, Dr. Schulman asked me to chair the summit, which was a great honor for me. And we did the summit at Unity North Atlanta Church. And so I was also the chair of the summit that we were going to have this year. And Dr. Schulman has been a great mentor to me and to hundreds of other people. He died last year, and I'm trying to carry on his legacy of humanitarianism and love that he has spread in the world. That's his legacy. And so the Global Humanitarian Summit actually has now transitioned into an organization called Humanitarians Uniting Globally, and the acronym is HUG. And so HUG is about inspiring people, especially our youth, to be humanitarians and to do good in the world. We're also focused on uniting and connecting individuals and organizations who are doing humanitarian and peace work in the world. We believe that collaboration is a key. And if we can get people and organizations who are doing similar kinds of work in the world to collaborate, we can expand the global impact that they have. And so that's what HUG is all about.
And you have an event coming up in September. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Okay. September 21st is annually is the International Day of Peace. And we have a collaboration of different peace organizations who are organizing and we're planning an event, which will be September 19th at the Avondale Town Green in Decatur, or maybe it's in Avondale. And so we don't have all of the details, but we'll be providing those soon. So I hope we'll all be able to come to that.
Right.
We have about 6 or 7 peace organizations that are working with us to put this event on. We also did it last year, and it was a great success. So we're excited about that.
Okay, wonderful. So, I'm going to ask, I know that the Global Humanitarian Summit was an international forum. This International Peace Day program that you're doing September 19th, are you going to have people? I know right now is a bad time for international travel, which is why the summit, didn't happen this year, a big part of it.
Right.
Are you going to have people from around the country at this gathering in September?
No, the September gathering will mostly be local people and local peace organizations that are that will have different tables set up and will have different activities, but it will be local.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anything else you'd like to share? Tell us a little bit about laughter yoga and how that brings about world peace.
Okay, laughter yoga. I'm a certified laughter yoga teacher and leader. Laughter yoga is a worldwide movement to help people laugh and be joyful. And it was started by a doctor in India, Dr. Madan Kataria, when he realized that there were so many benefits, health benefits of laughter, that he started a laughter club. And there are laughter clubs all over the world now, thousands of laughter clubs. And for me, that helping people laugh and be joyful is just one way to spread peace both within people and world peace. Because I believe that if people are laughing together, they're not going to be fighting or hurting anybody. And people are joyful. I think a lot of times when people are angry or unhappy, they're more likely to lash out at somebody. So that's one of the ways that I'm spreading world peace.
Good for you. And Brigitte Kynes, good friend of mine, she also teaches laughter yoga, and she actually came to the jail and did laughter yoga with my students a couple years back, and it was amazing. And she had people clapping and stomping and what do you say when you do your hands up?
Very good. Yay!
All of that was going on, and people at the jail were like, what in the world is going on up there? Yeah. They were getting nervous because they hadn't heard the folks there having that much fun and being that relaxed. So it definitely is a beautiful tool to
and
share.
Actually, for many years, I'm also a writer. I did a creative writing workshop, a group in two different prisons in Atlanta. And I also brought in laughter yoga. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah. It was good.
Because, they don't have a lot of joy in the prison. So bringing that in was really a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. So we're going to expand our discussion and bring on Bruce Leonard. We may have you go to the background for a little bit, Debbie, and then bring you back when we bring everyone out. But we'd like to introduce Bruce Leonard at this point. All right. Hello. Hey, Mr. Bruce. How are you?
Bruce.
Dr. Bruce, excuse me. Bruce Leonard is a retired commissioned officer, U.S. Public Health Service, and he worked at the Centers for Disease Control. We didn't know each other, but I'm sure we were there at the same time. At least some part of that overlapped. He taught college for 10 years. He wrote The Coming of Age, which is a memoir, and it's called Captain Energy, Musician, Peace Activist. Oh, I'm running things together just because they're on the page like that. But you could tell us about Captain Energy, and we know that you're a peace activist, and you were a wrestler in college. I can't picture that, but it's all good. It was part of your journey. So tell us a little bit about Captain Energy. I think that's one of your big things right now.
Well, before you tell the Captain Energy, I want and when Debbie comes back, she can answer this also. It's very brief in the others, but I'm curious, Bruce, if you can, and you could do this very briefly, but tell our audience a story very briefly and trust the first story that comes to mind when you think of the first 12 years of your life. what's the first story that shows up about Bruce?
He was an Eagle Scout.
Wow.
Why does that stand out for you? What was important about it?
It was one of the most character building experiences I ever had. You know, leading young men that are your age, you learn leadership skills. With Boy Scouts, I mean, you learn skills that give you confidence about you could go out in the wilderness and live for as many days as you plan to. That gives you a lot of self-reliance.
Absolutely. That's good. I was
Thank
a
you.
Girl Scout, so I remember that kind of experience as well. I mean, I loved being a Girl Scout, and I learned so much. And like you said, teamwork made the dream work.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, that is nice. So tell us a little bit about Captain Peace. Is it Captain
Well,
Peace?
the Captain Energy is, I was in Hawaii for 10 years and I had a rock and roll band. And the name of the band was Captain Energy and the Electric Flesh. So this is back in 1970, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, as you might remember, the 60s were an amazing time, and I was a full-fledged member of the counterculture.
Mm.
I hear you.
And as a matter of fact, I'm a musician now, and I'm planning to put together my band again.
Oh, wow. What do you play, Bruce?
Trumpet and drums and harmonica.
Trumpet, drums, and harmonica. That is wonderful. I find that talk about music a little bit in terms of peace and what it brings to people, and why you're so motivated as a musician that you want to start your group up again.
Well, back in the 60s, I mean, I was of the generation of Woodstock. I attended a bunch of musical festivals where it felt like I was on heaven and earth. I mean, everybody was friendly, generous, affectionate. And when the music started, we were all one.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this vision of, and maybe it'll happen, on the 21st of September, having a critical mass of the world's population singing, all we are saying is give peace a chance.
Peace a chance.
Yeah.
I'll sing with you. That sounds wonderful. Wow. How are you going to spread the word? I mean, we'll make sure it gets spread through this podcast, but how else are you going to spread the word about singing together?
Well, I'm working with 5 international organizations. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett, the Gwinnett Rotary Club, the Gwinnett Interfaith Alliance, HWPL. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a collection of different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And we're partnering with the Atlanta Interfaith Broadcasting TV station.
Oh, good.
And what we're trying to do is promote ethical leadership.
Ethical leadership.
I love that.
And we define ethical in terms of treating others as you'd like to be treated, helping those less fortunate, serving, forgive, do not worship wealth, and do not kill. So the idea would be to put together faith leaders, and I hope you guys can help me with this, but put together faith leaders and they come to consensus on promoting good behavior and flood the airways with that message.
Sure.
I mean, not only the traditional media, but the social media, and have this a top of the mind consciousness. We need to behave, you know.
Yeah, you know, that's a very powerful point, Bruce, and thank you, because one of the questions I want to ask each of you is, and I think you just gave the answer to this question, what would be what is your working definition for peace? And then when you infuse the word ethic, what immediately came to my mind was, this is the ethic of peace and for peace. Would you agree to that? That as a working definition for peace?
Yes, I mean, I think those behaviors define it, but I also realize that we find peace, inner peace, interpersonal peace, family peace, tribal peace, community peace, and ultimately global peace.
Yeah.
Along with this particular campaign of ethical leadership, there's also a 150-page document that lays out 6 other peace goals that I'm hoping you folks and anybody else would consider. They're just ideas, but I think if we can unite organizations to have the same plan, we're going to see things change. I think what we need to realize is that we're operating under win-lose systems. We need our systems to be win-win, and we need to collaborate instead of compete.
Interesting word, compete, because as you were speaking, what came to mind, and this is also for the group as a whole, I think one of the biggest competitions today with peace is the expansion of AI. How do you see AI as being either in support of what you envision or a competitor of the same?
Yeah, I like to think of it as a contributor. I think you can program AI with those 6 behaviors and make it behave. That's my dream.
Okay.
I've got no control over it, but I've used it and it's been very helpful.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Bruce. We are going to introduce Brother Ani, Cornelius Ani. How are you today?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Blissfully
We're good.
well. Blissfully well, my brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell people just a little bit about you. You've got a long, and all of us do have a long history of good work Mr. Ani is the president of Land Engineering and Surveying, Inc., a civil engineering and land surveying consultancy based in Lawrenceville, Georgia. He is accomplished in the practice of engineering, land surveying, and healthcare, informatics, and analysis. He has also been involved in community leadership, interpersonal and community dialogue, conflict resolution, and quality of life improvements. He is the president of If I Were XYZ. And we're definitely going to come back to that so you can explain to people what that is. It's a social media ecosystem that provides channel of communication necessary for dialogue and peaceful coexistence. I like how you put it last weekend when we were all together. So I'm going to let you explain If I Were XYZ. Let me just also say that Brother Cornelius Ani holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering, Certificate in Land Surveying, and Master of Science in Healthcare Informatics. He's also completed leadership training programs with several municipalities within the Atlanta metro area. He's married to Frances Yu Ani, and they are blessed with 4 children. And I am not going to try to say the names of your children because I do not want to butcher them. I'll let you say the names of your children.
I'm looking over the shoulder, and she's the one.
And I could probably do it, but I don't want to.
Okay, you go for it, babe.
But they have beautiful names, and I know they mean to them. So good. That helped a little bit. Cornelius, tell us about this. If I were X, Y. Oh, wait, Bernard, he's going to start off with a question first, and then we're going to get into your organization.
Yeah, Brother Cornelius. Same question I asked Bruce and Debbie, because I want to hear your story also. But the first, when you think of your life from 0 to age 12, what's the first story that comes to mind about you? Just the first one.
The first story that shows up in my mind that actually made me who I am is the confidence that was given to me knowingly or unknowingly by allowing me to be by myself most of the time. From that age you're talking about until about 13. For some reason, circumstances of my life allowed me to be alone. In the wild, like in the wild. So I have this connection with nature that has been carrying me all of my life.
Thank you. Which is the very reason that I asked that question to everyone, because the first 12 years of life has within it the theme that carries our life when we can notice what that theme is. And so thank you so very much for sharing that story of being alone is what I heard you say, and I would assume help you to develop a lot of confidence.
That is correct.
That is beautiful.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. So now tell us a little bit about your work in the peace field and what the heading of your organization means. If I were XYZ, what does that mean?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Imani and Bernard, and all the people who are facilitating this for us. And I want to thank Debbie for bringing us all of us together that gave rise to this. And again, thank you, Bernard, for asking that leading question, because it's very, very important, like you said.
You're welcome.
You listen to every conversation that has happened now, particularly from David to Bruce, you find out that in their own small way, they are making a big impact. That impact is being felt by not just themselves, but by people, one or two people that they are touching. And so, at the course of my life, my service to community, my profession, I've come to find out that at the center of everything that we do here on earth is peace. Without peace, we can't talk about love. Without peace, we cannot talk about progress. Basically, without peace, we can absolutely do nothing. However, we go about it different ways. For the most part, when you hear peace the most, or the loudest, not the most, the loudest is in terms of war, in terms of conflict, in terms of misunderstanding. The peace is actually what is with us, like it's inborn in us. It's just that the vagaries of life make things look differently. So when we look at also some music, just to mention a few of them, Jimmy Cliff, I believe it's him who said, "Let us remake the world." In other words, inside him, he knows, just like Debbie and Bruce express themselves, there is something wrong with how we're doing this. Let us remake this world. Bob Marley says so many things to us in his lifetime, in his music. He's still here with us. Unite. To make it, to crown it all, the country that we are today, even at the peak of its not so, proud actions, still recognize that all men are created equal. In doing so, when they started the preamble of the Constitution, they made one phrase with the people, the second phrase, in order to form a more perfect union. There's no unity without peace. So when we put all these things together, we found out that it's a function, the function of peace is actually a function of every single one of us. And it starts with an inner peace, just like previous speakers have acknowledged. So if you start with an inner peace, which is a peace that we are all born with, that was given to us at birth, irrespective of your religious persuasion, the best thing we thought is a great approach to peace is to say, if I were Bernard, what will I do differently today so that the peace between me and Bernard will be more pronounced? And once I do that and I make it available to Bernard, and he gives me his own parameters, it's time for us to do a negotiation. And from negotiation, we'll find peace. But today, you find out what is going on is we go and start something and then go to the negotiating table after a lot of people have died, after so many things have been destroyed. That is not civilization. So if I were SYZ, it's not just talking about Bernard and I, it's also talking about Trump, for instance, who is the president of the United States of America. If I were Trump, what would I do differently to ensure peace, not just in the Middle East, but here also in the United States? If we have that conversation among us, we'll have a collection of ideas of what we call peace that we can send to Trump. Let's calm down a little bit. A collection of ideas of what peace looks like that we can send to any person who is representing us. whether it is our governor, our senator, or anybody at all who is a community leader, who we think can help us in our pursuit of peace. So if I were XYZ, is if I were you, we just removed you to put XYZ, so that XYZ will be a placeholder for Bernard, for Trump, for our senator, Ossoff or Warner, for our governor, or for anybody who cares about this. So that's what we do. So, but we know also that in asking that question to ourselves, we know that peace starts from self. It goes into our family, into our community, and then finally into the world. So what we have done, we normally have a podcast which we call Marriage, Relationship, and Parenting, because peace is knocking on our door. If we can get our families to unite around peace, then we'll be sending peace advocates out of our families. And when we send them out and we reach them in their schools, and we see continue the language of peace, they will carry it as they become ministers, as they become our leaders, as they occupy positions of trust and authority in our society. That way, peace will permeate from ourselves into our nuclear family, to our community, and then to the entire world.
Yeah.
So in that format, what we have been doing is doing a mentorship, a youth mentorship that helps us get to as many youth as we can. I'll leave it here. If you have any questions, I'll answer them.
I love that. Thank you. I was going to ask, you're so good. We didn't have to ask questions, because as soon as I had a question, you would start talking about the answer. Because I was going to say, okay, how do you get from the discussion about if I were to implementing, and making that change, so you finally said it. You said, so in order to do that, we have a mentorship program. I love that. I have worked with youth. I started working with youth with my program. And actually everything you said explains why this was our second show, why we had to have this forum. You all came to our home last week, and we started the discussion, and I said, I want everyone to hear this, so thank you so much for joining us, part of the discussion, and we'll dig deeper. Did you have any?
Oh, the only thing I was going to add, Brother Cornelius, is that our ancestor brother Marvin Gaye will be smiling now, because on his album, What's Going On, one of the most important songs on there is Saving the Children. And when he sings that, you can hear the pain in his voice. And so to develop a mentorship for the youth and the children is what he was so much for when he made that album back in the 80s. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. We're going to come back to you when we bring everyone back up to the screen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
So Debbie, as we begin this segment, I'd like to start with you. Could you share with our audience the first story that comes to mind? You may have thought about it after you heard Bruce and Cornelius. A story from birth to age 12. What's one story? What's the fourth story without thinking comes to mind that you could share with us?
That's a hard question. Well, I don't know if this is a story, but I took drama lessons for many years when I was in grade school, and we entertained once a month at the Veterans Hospital. So I think taking drama lessons really helped me to be able to express myself, which is a skill that I rely on now. So that was just a fun time in my life, and it really impacted my life.
Yeah, a follow-up to each one of you, doesn't matter who goes first, in relationship to the story that you mentioned, how does it relate to your understanding of peace and what you're doing within this organization in the conversation today? How do you think it has inspired you, directed you as a theme for your life?
From when they were 12, from that
Yes.
story? Okay,
Yes.
so from your younger story
I got it.
to now. Mm-hmm. How does it connect the dots? Bruce?
As a Boy Scout, we had 12 laws that we followed.
Mm-hmm.
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, thrift, brave, clean, and reverent.
You knew them. You said them along with you. Great.
Well, that was guidance. That was a code of conduct that you followed. And I think that's what's missing in our culture, a code of conduct.
Mm. Mm.
That's so
Wow.
It's so powerful. You see teenagers walking the streets and you're like, okay, who raised them? Or were they raised? You know, in families where everyone's working, a lot of the children are missing out on some really key lessons. You know, and I'd be in a supermarket and I'd see, you know, a kid with the pants sagging, you know, under the butt. And I would say something. Everybody else would just turn their heads like, that's disgusting. And I would start a conversation with the young person, you know, and usually they'd say, okay, ma'am, thank you. Okay. You know, all of a sudden, what little respect they had comes to the surface and they say, okay, I'll pull them up. No, thank you. No problem. And so a lot of that is what's missing because people are not getting the basics about how to live and how to treat each other and how to be in the world in a peaceful way, right?
Thank you. Debbie, Cornelius, your story connecting with peace initiatives today. How so?
Did you say Debbie?
Yeah, I was just saying, either one of you, whichever one goes for next.
Oh. Well, as I said, I took drama lessons. We entertained at the Veterans Administration Hospital, and I think that helped me because that was really a humanitarian effort, is entertaining veterans, and I think that was really my first humanitarian thing that I did, and that projects into what I'm doing now.
Okay, that's good. Cornelius, how do you connect the dots? Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah, first, that isolation first allowed me to develop an inner peace. And it gave me a perspective of life that is natural, for which I know that nature bestows it on us as individuals, as a community. It also bestows it on everything under heavens. So that if you go out to your yard, okay, just don't worry about it, because when you go into your yard, you're thinking about you're doing some work on it, so it will look good. But just don't worry about it. Just go into the woods. You find out that everything out there has its own purpose and is benefiting from the other person. That's the way the world is supposed to be. We are benefiting from each other. Mm-hmm. Whatever gift that anybody has been given is there, not just for that person, but mostly for the next person. So that's actually the basis of my passion for peace.
Tell us how, and we are just about out of time. Tell us how people can get in touch with you, and we'll circle back to Bruce and to Debbie. What's the best way for people to
get you? If I were xyz.com@gmail.com. You can also go to ifiwerexyz.com. That is our website.
Ifiwerexyz.com website. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Cornelius. Bruce, best way for people to reach you?
Yeah, message me at 678-699-7827.
All right. Say it one more time, please. 678.
678-699-7827.
All right. Thanks so much. And Debbie, best way for people to reach you?
You can email me at GlobalHumanitarianSummit@gmail.com.
Okay, great, great. And say one more time about the upcoming event, September 19th.
September 19th in Avondale at the Greens on, no, what's it called, Bruce? The Green.
The Greens in Avondale. I know where you're.
Yeah, the Greens in Avondale. So yeah, we'll be. I don't have all the details, but
okay,
we'll be
we can
those
mention them
details
on a future show. We can share that with our audience as well. And anyone have any last thoughts? I know we're probably way over time at this point. We got.
Yeah, can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
Mother Teresa said, "Peace begins with a smile," and so I would just invite everyone right now to smile and to have one last laugh. So,
all right.
be joyful.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with you leading us through laughter yoga in our living room last Saturday. It was we did it for like maybe a half an hour. Different types of laughing, different things to laugh at, different reasons, different ways to laugh. So it's very, very healthy. Your body doesn't know if you're laughing for real or if you're just playing. So you get the same benefit.
Just laugh for no reason. Just laugh for no reason.
Laugh for no reason, and you get the health benefits of laughing.
Yeah, but the brain knows. You see, the brain registers all of that energy and creates new neurotransmitters. So when we laugh, the brain recognizes that and then sends that message throughout the body, and that's how it also helps the body to heal itself at the same time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Good to know.
Good. Yay. All right. Well, we so appreciate each and every one of you for the wonderful work that you're doing in peace, promoting peace, being at peace, and just sharing light and love with the world. We appreciate you and wish you all the best. And we hope to see you again soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bernard.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
And
wait, Tingshaws.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, David.
Probably look forward to having you all back just before the event, so you have more updated information
Yes.
to share.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. It is for the ancestors, and it is for the ancestors that we are on this mission of peace, inner peace, then transfers to outer peace. And that peace begins with me, with you. Life, in the words of Howard Thurman, is alive.
Be lifing.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Namaste.
Namaste. Amen.
Amen.